Shut up and sit down.
Yeah, thank God. Respect fan is my favorite one.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bias Effect podcast. It's your 1-year-old QJ.
I ain't one.
You are.
I am. I am. Yeah, it's me, Nikki.
And we're 1 year old today.
Oh, we did it, everybody. We did it. It's our 1-year anniversary. Look at us. Look at us. We didn't think we'd get here. Well, okay, let's put it this way. I thought maybe we'd get here, but I didn't think I would be so still genuinely excited to still be recording. I thought I might get a little old, but no. Literally every recording time we come, I'm like, oh, let's do it.
And it doesn't even really feel like it's been going for a year.
No, it's so wild. But yeah, we thought we'd just do like a little retrospective on the year and see how far we've come, because when we started this, it was literally the beginning of our journey, and now it's been a year since we've been in it, so...
We've learned a lot.
A lot. So we thought one of the main things we do is go through our first episode together. So we both re-listened to it, and we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about some key moments and some other just...
I guess this is a good place, if you're just starting, this is a good place, because we'll recap the full year.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, check it out. Check us out. Look at us. We made it. Look at us. But yeah, you said this will release like on.
Yeah, technically our debut day is February 12th, 2025. But I think this will air February 11th. So whatever, close enough.
Okay. Yeah, that's so exciting. Yeah, so 1 full year of doing this. Like you said, it doesn't feel like it's been a year. Now we, not surprisingly, behind the curtain, we record a batch of episodes at once, just the nature of it all. But still, we do it once a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's 12 times we sat down and recorded for, and we these are full day.
Yeah, this is a full day thing.
Yeah, full day, and it's again, it doesn't feel like anything. Let's put it real. We'd be chatting and talking about this anyway if we didn't have microphones. So might as well do it in front of a microphone. But so we listened to the first episode, which was called, I don't know why I made that sound.
Oh yeah. Jackson reference.
Was it really? Was that what you were talking about, Jackson? You just got overly excited.
Yeah, we were like, Jackson Wang.
Oh, yeah. He still has that effect to this day.
I mean, going strong.
I know it was our first episode and we were just, getting comfortable with the situation, but I kind of laughed. The first thing I say is, hi, hello. I never say that anymore. We never do that. We obviously throughout the months have come up with more of a structured beginning and ending, if you want to call it that. We still bump against our intros, but that's the charm of us, okay? We also talked about matching bias tattoos. Like, well,
I mean...
We don't have any matching biases, though, but I would get a matching K-pop tattoo. Oh, right, because
I would get a BTS, something BTS related.
Yeah, let's do it. Everybody's going on one. August 2026. Right, because we were talking about the name of our podcast. So again, if anyone doesn't know, the bias effect, we thought it was pretty clever. Because one of our favorite video games that bonded our friendship was the Mass Effect and the bias. We are all biased in this world. but specifically with anyway, so that was where the matching tattoos came. I'm like, well, we have a matching tattoo that is bias effect. Now we gotta have a matching K-pop tattoo.
Yeah.
And I think that still stands. I think we should.
I mean, you know what? I would love the love yourself heart. You know, the like squiggly heart that they have. I would love that. Hmm?
I mean, yeah, it's just one quick line. Line. I've seen some really nice.
I know.
Like single line like that, like art for them. But well, that will keep. But yeah, that statement still could be very true. Okay. I was also surprised how early we literally started talking about BTS episode 1. Yeah. I didn't think we were that early on talking about BTS, but it was like the first thing. I still hadn't even listened to them really at this point. I just knew them through you and the ether of just K-pop being like, BTS is K-pop. You're like, okay. But I was surprised to listen. So the most interesting to me, but listening back to the first episode, was that it was a couple months before when we started listening to K-pop than filming our first episode. We talked a lot more stuff in the first episode that I realized, like, that we had already listened to or had opinions on. I just didn't think we were that far along, I guess, in the first episode already.
Yeah, I feel like we covered a lot of stuff in the first episode.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about TXT a lot in the first episode, and we made like some pretty wild like statements about TXT in the beginning.
That's what I mean. There were so many that we talked about that I didn't even think we talked about in our first episode. One of the funniest statements, basically everything now is just so in our lexicon and in the way we speak now because it's all we talk about, but there is some things we just said so offhandedly that were just so wrong. Like, we both clocked this. We were talking about like how there's different members of different bands that are from not just from Korea, from all over. And then you said, I think there's the one guy from GOT7 is Thai, and I'm like, yeah, Bam,
yeah.
My bias, the guy sitting on my wall right now, yeah, that guy. And just again, so like, I think there's one guy. You're like, now it's so in my like world. It's so funny to be like, there's a guy I think that's Thai. Yeah. And like funny to watch also over the year that he actually did come out with his solo album and it was all about Thailand, so it's so funny.
Yeah.
How it came up to be.
We were deep in, I think when we started we were like heavy in the Ateez era because that was like most of the stuff we were kind of going over. I just remember you said the ultimate bias record is Mingi. You said that.
Which, I mean, I did say that. I mean, I feel like that's.
Do you stand by that?
I mean, he is an ultimate bias record. He's not my ultimate bias record anymore, but if someone goes, "What's a bias record?" he definitely comes to mind. He would come pop into your mind. What's so funny about that statement to you, huh?
I didn't know if it was still true.
He's a wild idol.
I mean, yeah, he's crazy.
He's insane. But yeah, we were so limited back then, right? So we only had really, I believe at the time of recording, I was going through the Stray Kids discography because I remember you talking about wanting me to listen to Ateez a lot. I hadn't, at the time, you kept telling the story about how you were listening to work and you were trying to get me to listen to it. So I think I just dabbled into Ateez at this point, like music-wise. So, but basically, those were the two bands at the time. It was Stray Kids and Ateez were the main ones we were like kind of following at the time. SHINee too. We were in the mix, but we didn't have a lot of variety at the time. So yeah, at that time, bias record was Mingi. Now he's still in the category of bias record for sure, but there's a lot of basically every single member of every band's a record.
I mean, at some point in time.
We didn't really know what a record was, really.
No, we were trying to give information. We were trying to like lay out who biases and records were at the time, but it was still like a kind of a fresh concept to us. Because even bias for Ateez, you couldn't choose, but you said, I feel like I'm a girly.
And my instincts were very correct. I wrote that too. I wrote, I'm a girl. And it's true. That still stands to this day.
Meanwhile, I said I'm Hongjun till I die. I was like,
bold statement, bold statement. And now you wonder why I reacted. Everyone, go back. I feel like it was a few episodes ago, but you revealed that he was no longer your bias, and I was shook because of the hard stance you had in the beginning. And I also kept calling him your alt too. I noticed that. I kept calling HJ your alt. Maybe he was, but then at the end of the episode, I believe we talk about Suga.
Yeah, like we were just starting to get into BTS, so it was like a new concept, I guess. But yeah.
But it was funny to hear me be like, "Oh, you're all HJ." I was like, I don't even think that was true in that episode. Just throwing around the term alt, you can't throw that around like no nilly willy.
I think I said Songwoo was my bias wrecker, which I'm like, I mean, he's fine, but it's definitely not true now.
I know. Our relationship with Ateez really has grown through the year. I highly respect them. They're still, I would say, top 5 bands I listen to for sure. Mm-hmm. But they went through such a shift to me in the way, just their releases. Because at this time, I don't know if it happened yet as of this recording, but I Saw My Teeth came out. I don't know if it was at this time or just after this, but that was the era we were dealing with, and that was insane era. But yeah, we've really grown. They just, they still are mind-blowing performers. I think that's the thing with them. They're a very performance-based band, for sure. So if they're not really releasing a lot at the time, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about Stray Kids, but we did lay out that Bang Chan was your alt and my bias was Hyunjin. But I did, for the record, say that Lino was a close second. So he's always been there.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, you were there. You knew. You knew deep down.
We also at this time had just discovered how to pronounce Oneus.
That was so funny. So again, this was our first episode. So I found that also funny that for Oneus, like on air, we never said it wrong. Basically, we were talking about Oneus, like, but behind the scenes, we always thought they were Oneus.
Yeah.
Which is so funny now. It felt so weird to say Oneus in that episode, but now we're like, obviously it's Oneus. Like.
I think we are not the only people. I was reading a Reddit thread the other day that was like, what are names you mispronounce? And there were quite a few of people who pronounced it Oneus.
Yeah, like, for sure. Well, it's the way they spell it too. At least in the English translation, it's spelled as all as one word. Mm-hmm. So if you're an English speaker, you would never think to separate those two words because they're together, right? Yeah. How it's written. So if you had maybe one space us or one even like...
If the U was capitalized maybe, then you would maybe think that, but yeah.
But no, it's not. It's all one... All the letters are combined, and so Oneus makes sense. But yeah, Oneus. And then the additional context, which we didn't have at the time, was their brother band, Onewe.
Yeah. But a lot of people were saying they would say that as Onew.
True.
And I was like,
I think I probably, every time you type it, I think of Onew from SHINee as well. Which I think I wrote, I'm an Onew girly. I think I said that in this episode.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, for Oneus specifically, you said you liked Lido and Soho, but you were undecided. And I was like, I don't know who any of these fools are. Like, straight up, was like, I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, they were me. Yeah, they were me. I found them. And so this is when I think dabbled in them, but they didn't have any kind of new release yet or anything like that. Dear M it comes out just after this. But that is so true. It is still Lido or Soho. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize I had such a strong leaning towards Soho in the beginning either, which is true.
And then I guess in that same era is when we were talking about BTOB and GOT7 and SHINee and stuff, and yeah, like you did say that your bias at the time was Onew, and I said Minho, which is still true. But you were also claimed that it was more up my alley than yours.
That's true. I think that still tracks. I do love SHINee, don't get me wrong, but looking at our Wrapped 2026, those stats would say correctly that you're more the SHINee girly.
I think we didn't say much about GOT7 or BTOB, but at least lately we've been more GOT7. Haven't really revisited.
Totally.
Oh, it's not BTOB also, it's B2B.
B2B.
Yeah. It's like beat to beat or both to beat or something like
Born
that.
to be. It's
born
born
to beat.
To beat.
Whatever.
Okay.
You say it B2B.
That's so funny.
I know, I'm like, it's BTOB.
just now on our year anniversary, we're like, oh, actually, it's not BTOB. Oh, B2B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely we've talked very drastically about our changes in, for me, for SHINee bias, because we went through it with Onewe and his solo work
His
this
vibes.
year. Yeah, like, again, love the guy. He's the leader of SHINee, so
I mean, he is
just
super
a
cute.
different- He is cutie. He's a cutie, but he's
Strange.
just a strange man. So my bias is updated to King.
And I thought it was interesting. We mentioned Enhypen also, and we were like, "No, thank
Oh.
you. We will never. They're too young for us." I'm like, it's true, but we still tried.
We did definitely tried. I also found it funny because for SHINee, you also mentioned Minho is kind of jock vibes is the term you use, and you could not be more on that. You could have not nailed that more, and that became so evident over the past year. He was doing all these marathons and everything like that. That was his whole thing this past year. So you kind of were nail on the head there, and then finally he comes back with a single. He was basically living his professional athlete life.
Yeah.
But yeah, the TXT stuff was hilarious.
Technically, we walked back a little bit of this already, because we, like, originally we were like 99, big yikes. And then, like, a few episodes later, we were like, not that big of a yikes, because, like, we have 2000s people that we appreciate, so it's like not that crazy. So we did walk it back a little, but I did think it was really funny that we both were like, Yeonjun's a leader of TXT. Like, we both just flat out were like, he's a leader. He must. I think in our defense we were like, I think he's the leader. But still, we were like,
and like, everyone loved Yeonjun, and everyone talks about it because I think the gum was big at this time too. So obviously he's the first to solos, all this stuff. But the TXT journey over our full year has been the most drastic, I would say. And we were so, like, I would say anti, but we were just like, I don't think it's for us. I don't care to, like, look into it. But yeah, after actually looking into them, there are only 5 members, and that range from 99 to 2002, which is barely any different than Stray Kids.
yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, a little bit. We were just really trying to justify not, like, us listening to them, and then we're like, oh, no, they're actually pretty good for like, people like them for a reason. And again, they're more of a personality group, and I think they're really funny. And
for the record, we know who the leader is now.
Subin, it's Subi. But, and also, to be fair to us, we learned later too, TXT doesn't really have designated roles, except for, I guess, leader is the only one, leader and Magnite. But for our, they're not very classical that way with designations, so fine, I guess.
And just like apropos to the timing right now, in our first episode we talked about BTS, obviously, and you said, now I need to see them live. And guess
Girl,
what?
see?
Guess what? That's how long we've been manifesting.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, oh, we actually were manifesting for a full year, so
yeah, since day
that
one.
is funny that is funny I said that, though. So yeah, I must have been just starting to listen to BTS at the time, because we definitely go into BTS a little more in this episode. Of, like, I think we ranked all of them. Like,
well, we were talking about, I think, because I started talking about Suga a little bit, so we were talking about, like, kind of the vibes or whatever. I don't think we really, like, were settling into biases, except for maybe me, but, like, you weren't really, like, considering it yet. And like, this is when I was like, Jimin's the cutest guy I've ever seen, and like, We've watched this back as well, so it's like fine. But literally re-listening to it, you literally were like, if I were to rank them in order of looks, he'd probably be last. I was like, that's actually like, I didn't realize you said something so egregious. Like, last place is crazy.
I didn't know. Okay, to be fair, all the 7 members, someone's got to be last, and it's a crazy thing that any of them have to be the last. I mean, I stand by where I was at the time. I didn't know him yet, and I didn't get the vibe, because I just kept seeing, like thirst reels of him, and I just didn't know. He seemed very, like, normal to me, like, okay. But then, yeah, I started to get, he's the cutest man I've ever lived. Your statement could have not have been more true at the time. Come full circle, I watched Are You Sure over the holidays, over the Christmas holidays, and I literally, after watching that, I think I was like, he's the cutest man that's ever lived. And I'm pretty sure I could hear you all the way from provinces over.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's so true. It's more, yeah, it's everything about Jimin, though. You gotta know he's the sweetest little guy ever. Like that moment when he's paragliding and he's like freaking out, but he's like so happy. It's like, that's the biggest cuteness aggression. How can you not love that guy when you watch that, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand at the time, and now I do. Simple as that. Simple as that. The person I would put last now is actually kind of insane, though, still. So.
I would not want to publicly rank them, but I can think of who I would put last.
I think yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like, we won't say it publicly, just because,
I don't want anyone to get mad at me. But anyway, we talked a lot in the first episode. I think we'd also dabbled slightly in girl groups. I had started listening to Twice at that time a little bit, and you started watching the Seraphim documentary. So we had like touched a little bit on girl groups even back then, but
yeah, we didn't get too far in the girl group vibe back then, but now.
I mean, there was so much guys to look at that we were like, I just don't have the space in my brain for this.
Could be, exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But that was like the first episode. The other thing that just struck me in the first few episodes, I also kind of listened to episode 4, and just our brain chemistry has completely changed. We were talking about in episode 4, which was our first freeform, how we never before would say things like sexy or hot or anything like that, and we just, now it's just so commonplace, but yeah, you look pretty hot today or whatever. Look, never a year ago, before a year ago, when I ever, like, it was so cringe for me to say anything like that, which is still, like, I'll guarantee you it's still cringe, but I'm like, I don't even care anymore. And the amount that, it's so gross, but like dissected bodies now, like I've never once been like, oh, that guy has really nice arms. Like well, maybe that, but
I mean, yeah, there's some like pretty unhinged like shorts and close-ups of like hands and forehead veins.
Like, I don't, why do I know
stuff.
what a person's hands look like that I've never seen? Like, I've never met this person before. I don't even know if well, yours I could identify. You have hand tattoos, so I can identify your hands out of a lineup.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
But I don't know if, like, I could identify, you know what I mean? Like, my own family or friends' hands.
We talk about the mouths a lot. Like, if you just see the mouth, you're like, I know who that is.
We were talking about the other day, we're going to do an upcoming episode on a K-drama called The Manipulated, which Dio from EXO is in. They try to do this reveal of his character before they actually show his face, but they just show his lips. I'm like, that's Dio. Immediately, I'm like, no, that's him. Like, I didn't need anything else. That's him. And then, again, what kind of universe am I living on when I can identify someone so easily from their lips or their nose or their hands? Basically, yeah, we've changed our brain chemistry completely. And there's just such vernacular that is so easy for us to like say now that I didn't even ever think we would. Or like I say it so commonly that I don't even realize other people wouldn't know. The funniest thing that happened kind of recently was you did the thing that we were all afraid of. You shared a reel in our group chat.
Oh yeah. At least it was a tame one, like honestly.
It was very tame.
Because some of the comments when I send you stuff, sometimes like a comment that I will add underneath is like, no one else should be seeing this.
For real, I don't understand that. I'll never really understand the comfortability people have of posting certain things or certain comments. I'm like,
that's just for you.
I don't mind. Yeah, like live your life, have your thoughts. That's totally fine. But to post it, oof, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, it was a reel of Ateez, and they were barefaced or whatever. You wrote there, you're like, barefaced forever. And this was a group chat with Ed and our other friend. And he was like, explain what barefaced is to me.
Yeah, he was like, explain.
Explain, and you were...
I was like, this is like the most tame thing that I could explain to you that I've shared today.
But yeah, so a statement like that though is so common for us to be like, oh yeah, I love when they look barefaced, and someone like, what are you talking about? Like, oh right. That is kind of such a random term to use, which for everyone that is a term. It means an idol without makeup.
Yeah.
Like how I live every day. And the last thing I thought was funny is that you could not say Bang 10 Soyeon. I can't even say it, but you're saying it so easily now. Like what BTS is. They're
Bang 10 Soyeon.
See, yeah. And you could not. You were struggling on the Soyeon part. I thought it was funny because now it's so easy for you to say. So.
Yeah, I mean it's in a lot of their songs now, so I'm like, well, now I got it.
Now you got it. And then the last thing for me was my sign off has grown over the years. This one I signed off. See you all next time. Like, no, I gotta catch you on the flip now. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to go back. It was fun to see, how far we got. We're like so much more comfortable now, and we've got a lot of things in place. Our intros, our outros. So it was fun.
Yeah, even I think I went back and just randomly listened to our XO episode, and I thought even like our group episodes, we have like such a more of a structure now. Like some of the early ones were like, this is this guy's name, this is one single fact about him, next. Like now we're like, this is the name, like we MBTI, emoji, name, birthday, like at least like the general facts.
I do love to see the growth of our structure as well. It's been fun to like fully flesh out. I think I made a note to our first comeback episode was episode 9. So it's such a bread and butter of our format now.
Yeah.
Every month we do every month, and I love doing the comeback ones. It really, I think, keeps us in the loop of what's going on, and for example, it gets us to maybe listen to some new stuff like Enhypen.
Yeah.
And then the member episodes, and then we've started getting into our freeforms are kind of iconic in my mind.
Sometimes we just need like a space to say things.
Need a space to just gap about anything. And then the trivia ones are always fun. We started that a bit later on in the year, but those have become pretty fun to do as well.
I would love to revisit some of our earlier band episodes in the future, because like we didn't really do much detail. Like for Stray Kids, I feel like we only talked about the show. Like that was all we talked about. And like we didn't really do like member information, and like I don't even remember what we did for Ateez, but I'm pretty sure it was not that detailed either. But like even the XO one, like you did a pretty good job with the member stuff, but we didn't really talk like about the group timeline that much. Like... so it would be interesting to revisit some of the like first ones that we did and just like add a bit more information, I guess.
Stray Kids revisit, Ateez revisit, XO revisit. Yeah, I agree. And it was fun to do things we did more early on that were like one-off episodes, which I would like to do more of, like the military episode. I really enjoyed doing that one, and K-dramas, but that's not on me. That's on you.
Hey, we're scheduled. We're scheduled for a new one. Okay.
we got it. Yeah, I think it has to be more of a free-flowing option because we had Goblin planned for a long time.
Basically, after the episode of Imitation, we were like, next up, Goblin, and like,
which Imitation was episode 10, and we're at episode 53. So we're finally doing another K-drama, guys. But yeah, it'd be fun to do more stuff like that. But yeah, just stay tuned. We ain't stopping. We're here for life. Okay. Well, that's a bold statement that we'll come back to.
I mean, well, forever. The other big thing that has come out from the year is like the collection part, which we've like alluded to many times, but I thought it was just like, it literally made me laugh so much. We like, for the holidays, we both put together like a list of our albums so that we could do our Christmas episode. And then I think we both were just like, oh, this is great. And we just like keep updating it after Christmas too. And I went through and counted them all, and we have both exactly have 52 albums.
That's
First of all, it's so funny to me because it's exactly the same. Like, what are the odds of that?
How did we do
But
that?
Second of all, that means we bought one album a week. Basically. Like, how crazy. That's like you went to the store every Wednesday and bought an album. Like, that's crazy.
I think as I was saying earlier, I thought it was just going to be Ateez Stray Kids. Like, I genuinely did not think I was going to get into that many more bands, etc. I should have known better. I have a very collectionist vibe about my life. Like, I love to collect. If anyone remembers Funko Pops back in the day, I went nuts on those. Yeah,
I think I had like 100 of those things at one point. Like, insane.
And us together, we just fuel each other in the best way, obviously. But when we were living together, that's when we first discovered Funko Pops, and then that exploded. And now here we are. 52 albums a piece.
It's so funny because at one point, like, maybe like halfway through, I was talking to Ed about stuff, just buying things, and he's like, well, I mean, you don't need to buy them all the time, right? Like, just buy whichever ones you like the most. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
That's what I'm doing. I'm like, am I just collecting at this point? I don't know.
Some of them, I will admit that my Christmas purchases went nuts. I went way too crazy over the holidays with that. Like, I bought ones that I didn't need to buy, but that's okay. But we had to backfill. We were new. Now we had to backfill all of these ones, right? So that's what I'm saying.
That I did a little, like, I've counted which ones we had the most of. We have the most BTS albums. I have 19, so including solos. I have 19, and you have 12. But like, my second highest is 17 albums, so 19 to 7. Yours is 12 to 9 Stray Kids albums. Well, it's more comparable. Yeah. I was like, I went a little hard on the BTS albums.
Yeah, Stray Kids, I figured they would be up there because it was literally the first album I bought was Stray Kids, and pretty much have bought all their more recent albums for sure. But yeah, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
We're here. I mean, I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even gonna front that I'm like, ooh, 52 albums. It is a large number, and it's not a number I thought I would that necessarily a year ago think I would be here, but it makes sense how we're here. And we've already, technically, wait, did you include Ateez in this number?
Yeah. At first, because at first I didn't include it in my number. And then when I was adding yours, you had put it on your list already. I hadn't added it to my list yet. And I was like, oh yeah, and that is on there. So then I added it, and then they matched up. Or then mine was one above yours or something. And then I realized you had 2 versions of it. So I was like, oh, actually they are the same. Like, every time I adjusted the number, I was like, oh, it's off now. Oh no, wait, it is the same.
That's so funny.
So yeah, even including the pre-order.
That's okay. Well, that's what we are, guys. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to like kind of break down our favorites, least favorites of what we got.
It's honestly, I thought it was a little bit difficult to pick specifically like duds because like they're all fine. But I will say that it was a little annoying to get the S Cube's version of the 17 album because like that's just an outrageous amount of cards. I don't need 24 S Cube's cards, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then like obviously in your fantasy, it was more just like checking it off the list. And I just got the Pogo one, which I don't really love those types of albums because it's just like 8 cards or whatever. I usually like the bigger ones, but I didn't want that much of it, so. But overall, like I wouldn't really say I don't really have like terrible ones at all.
No, like even the ones I've listed here, they're more just because it's like kind of funny. Like RM's Indigo, obviously love that album, but like I only put it in disappointing because I literally only got his hand as a photo card.
Yeah.
And I think yours was like a really cute one you got for that. So I was kind of just bummed that this is my bias and I only have his hand. Although I have already predetermined that I'm definitely bringing that one to the concert because it's just so funny. Because someone's got to be like, I know that hand. In your fantasy, only because again the version I bought. What am I supposed to do with 8 full human size posters? I there's something I could do with that. What I also realized in my purchasing is versions I don't really enjoy are photo book versions, which I got of Kai's Rover and Key in Your Fantasy, only because it's just like it's mostly just that you get like a magazine sized photo book and it's just not as fun to engage with, but great photo shoots. But and then I put Tableau and RM on the list only because it was literally just that single and it's on a CD. I'm like, it just feels like a waste of a CD basically too. The concept, like the design of it was really cool, but again, there was no photo card. I didn't even get a Tableau solo photo card. I got just a playing card. And then I put my TXT albums only because the early ones that I bought I couldn't photo cards and I couldn't put them even in my thingy. But they're cool though. Like the stuff they do give are kind of cool, but the early ones I couldn't do much with them. So
faves though.
Faves though.
I really liked the Map of the Soul preppy version that I got. Probably helps that I pulled like the sugar from it, but I really did like that one. And like obviously my August D collection is top of the line. All I need is the vinyl and the keychain and the capsule. But I liked the GOT7 album, was good. I feel like it came with like a good amount of stuff and it was fun to open. And I also thought that about the EXO album, like it was fun to open and like some good stuff in there. So those were like fun to open, and then the J-Hope album. The craft is like horrific to finish, but it was worth it. Like I love having that craft.
I think I did 2 lines of it, but that was fun. That was that's a good point. It was the most unique thing I've seen. The only thing that's comparable kind of to it is like a Oneus album that had like a little stick guy in there or whatever. But a full craft, and I couldn't even get through it. I could not get through it. I don't think I had the right tools either. It was very meticulous little guy, but he is so cute. I know, I wish, because ours are different colors too. We would have had I still have it. So my favorites were 17's Face the Sun. That was my first 17 album I bought, and I wasn't expecting. Their packaging and design are really cool. It was my first kind of uniquely styled album, I say. Like it came like a rectangle and you open it up. It was just one of the first unique ones, and I love that album. I play that album beginning to end in the car so often. I put Stray Kids Go Live because it was my first album that I ever bought, and it was my first experience opening up a K-pop album. And I didn't know what to expect, and I remember sending you the video, but like we didn't know how to record ourselves opening any of these or anything. But So that will always kind of stick with me. And then Golden Hour Part 2 for Ateez was so fun to collect because it was the first album at that time that I bought like all the different versions for.
Yeah.
And so that was just fun to be like, oh my god, there's different versions for albums and they're actually different photo shoots and all of that. That was the first experience feeling that. Oneus, Dear M, again, was one of these albums where like, what, you get all of this stuff in this album and the same price as all these other albums. Key, Gasoline was pretty cool. It was the floppy disk version we got, and Key is he does such cool package designs for all of his stuff. So, again, very cool to see that different artists could do things so differently. And then the last one that was so surprising to me was BTS's Never Walk Alone. So this is the one, I think both you and I bought it, or you showed it to me on Amazon. I was like, oh, sure, I'll just try to buy it on Amazon, fine. And I was so surprised by it because this is one I always wanted, but I only knew of the green version with the bus stop on the cover, but this one was the other version. I'm like, screw it, I'll just buy it anyway. It's the most beautiful photo shoot I've ever seen. It's the one with the confetti, and it looks so... I just really wasn't expecting it at all, and shocked. So nice. Except it has the weirdest photo card I ever got, either. It's one with V with, like, an absolute bowl cut, and he has, like, a red and white glove on. So weird.
The weirdest photo card I think is the... I think it's from Love Yourself, where they're like peeking around the corners. Like, I think you got J-Hope and I pulled Sugar, but I'm like, I don't, like, I would never display this card. Like, those ones seem so strange to me. They're just like peeking around a corner, like smiling. And I'm like, that's probably the weirdest photo card that I could think of that I have. But I guess they do kind of weird stuff, because even when I bought the other Map the Soul version, their photo card, or not, no, what was it? It was the B album. They're like laying on couches, like with their like feet kicking up and stuff. I'm like, I guess maybe they just do weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, because even like the proof one that I got, like, yeah, I got all 7, but then I had one photo card that was unique, and it was Suga holding an old photo of an old photo shoot. So I think that's what they all do, and I get it for that album proof. It's, you know, a retrospective on all of their albums, but yeah.
They do some strange stuff sometimes.
That's a good one to think about. But I think the V one was just a weird like vibe. The only other one that comes to mind that was kind of weird, it's a Bang Chen photo card, but he's like it was for Karma. He has like a I don't know, like a certain kind of like a racing glove on, and he's like posing with the fist, and I'm like, I don't get this vibe.
I mean, yeah, when I got the season's greetings for Stray Kids, like one set of them was them holding like camcorders. And I'm like, you've never touched a camcorder in your life. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? And they're all just kind of like holding them like off to the side. I'm like, it's not a beauty prop. Like,
Can I just say again, since it's the year retrospective, I love that meme that we have. It's specifically with Jackson. Whenever he does a photo shoot, he'll do like normal things and would always send it to each other, be like, he's never done whatever he's doing in his life. Like, it'll be something that's like eating pizza, holding a bag.
Yeah, like, this guy's never held a bag before. This guy's never sat on a bed before.
We obviously love him to death, but it's just so funny. And that's fashion in general. Like,
yeah, that's just like a weird vibe there. Like, even when they're like doing like product stuff, they're always holding it like against their cheek, and I'm like, you've never done this.
Never held.
Like, you've never held perfume before.
It's definitely like a fashion thing, but it's so funny, especially with it's always with Jackson we do it with, and it just made me think. You've never held a camcorder in your life.
Yeah, like you've never touched a camera before.
So good. That number's only gonna grow. See, one more year we'll be at 110.
Oh my god.
I hope not that high. Well,
I mean,
if it is, it is. Well,
I mean, at this point in time, I'm getting all the BTS albums. Like, at this point, I probably only need like 5 more. Like,
that's true.
I'm so close.
True. for as big as BTS is, they don't actually have that much music, really. Like,
I just made a playlist that was no solos, just BTS, and no repeated songs, like just a straight one version of it, and it's 10 hours long. So
yeah, that's what I mean. That's not that long.
I mean, I am missing some because they frustratingly have like songs where they have not released them on a platform at all.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, like there's a few songs like that where you can't listen to them on, like, you have to have the CD. So I'm sure there's like at least a handful more, but
still
164 songs on this playlist,
which for being around that long and being so popular is surprising to me, you know. Because if you did that with Stray Kids, I bet they would already have like 500 songs. I don't know how many, but they have a lot of music.
If I go to my all BTS, every single option plus solos, it's 400.
Yeah, okay. Plus solo too. Yeah, that's yeah, for me, for BTS, I definitely want to get the most beautiful moment.
I saw somewhere that the one that's kind of like an orange cover from that era, that's the one that has mint-haired Yoongi. So I'm like, that's the one I need to get. That's the one I gotta get.
You gotta get it. And like you mentioned, I do not have V's layover, but I'll probably end up getting it because it's the only solo I don't have, I think. Well, yeah, I don't have Jin's Happy.
Yeah, I still need Happy and On the Street from J-Hope.
J-Hope, yeah.
I think that might be it though for solos.
Oh, I don't have RM's wrong place. Which
right place, wrong person. Something
right,
like that.
But I need Yeontan, so I'm going to get the V Yeontan version because that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Okay, but I think so. As we've gone through all of our stuff, all of this lifestyle of K-pop, clearly every band has their own saying, and every band has their own group fandom name. So of course, it's our year debut. We have to release our fandom name. No, we don't really, but we just thought it'd be fun to kind of like go through, maybe think of ones that would be funny. So I think we both came up with a couple, but I thought it would always be fun to call our fan base flippers because I always end the show with catching you on the flip. So we got our flippers, and then it could be like a fun little, we could have like a dolphin, you know? Like I already have a stuffed tuna, and no one can see this, but I bought a stuffed tuna as a potentiality for a concert fit of Super Tuna Gin. So now I'm like obsessed with, I guess, getting live. It's like, as you called him disgusting because he's like an actual like photorealistic.
I know, it's like a print of a real fish, like horrific.
A real tuna. But. So our little flippers.
I was thinking along because we always say, have you ever heard of it? So and like I was thinking, sometimes like when we do those group episodes, their name is like so weird where it's like doesn't really make sense out of context. So I kept thinking like the Evers, like Evers. So I'm like, it doesn't really make sense, and like it's so weird and like bizarre, but it like fits, right?
I know. I think I went off a similar thing where I was trying to think of because we also do an X-rated version. Ever fucking heard of it? So I was trying to put the letters together, and it kind of comes Efhoi, and I
yeah, I thought that one was funny too.
Our F-hoes in the crowd. Where's our F-hoes? So yeah, that's kind of fun. I kind of love that. Again, out of context, you have no idea. We're like, what in the heck?
But it kind of fits too, because if you think about like ARMY or MOA, it's like an acronym, right? So like it does kind of work also.
Yeah. So welcome F-hoes, and it's a term of endearment. You're an F-ho, okay? So I do love that. So we have options.
We got options.
Which one do you like the most down below? Because if you recall our day 6 episode, there was a fan vote, and people were not happy. Well, I don't know if it was a fan vote, but the fans were like, you should call yourself, you should be called Daydream or Daylight, and they were like, no, the day, and people are mad. So we'll listen to y'all. Tell us what you like the most down below. But you were the one that came up with our
this is it, like when I was, because I think you have to like take yourself out of this space, you know, like you have to let yourself be a little cringy. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, this is so horrible. Like I would never say this publicly, but I'm like, you kind of have to, right? Like that's like sort of the charm of this whole thing. It's like everything's like a little bit cringy.
Oh, for sure.
But I was in the same thing as like our sign off of being like catch you on the flip. I was like 2, 3, catch us on the flip.
We are the bias effect. Yeah. And then, because no one sees this part, but you know, I always sign off and I do the hang 10 sign to you. Yeah. So that's what 2, 3, catch us up. We are the bias. And then if we ever had our flippers, we have like a dolphin.
Everyone will start going.
Exactly. Oh man, we gotta live, right? We gotta dream big.
Yeah.
That's so fun. But yeah, let us know what you think down below. We'll listen. We'll listen. Do you like the flippers? Do you like being an Efhoi or an Ever? Or what do you have? Let us know. But I think it would be kind of fun to end with some key moments in our brains, each one. One of the biggest things I remember with EXO, I kind of started the looking into them and everything, but you were the one that started it with me. You were the one that sent me the first Kai meme ever, or Kai, and it was all because of Ateez too. So
oh yeah, they did that challenge with them, right?
Yeah, at the time of our starting, Kai, I don't know if he just finished or
I think so.
quit. Anyway, he did Rover, his album Rover, and then he went to Service, I believe. He was in Service. Anyway, so doing that, he had the dance for Rover, and he, like all idols, they usually do the rounds with other idols doing the real dances. So you send me this reel of Sangwa and San doing the Rover dance with Kai. Kai comes in, he's wearing like an icon, like what Kai always wears, like a suit with a vest and no shirt underneath type of thing. And you just wrote to me, who the fuck is Kai? And you're like, who the hell is this guy? Like, who is this guy's energy? And I was like, okay, let me look at this guy. And then, well, there we are now. That was the beginning of Kai and EXO. Mm-hmm. So all the way back then, because this is how it works out here. You got one idol, and then another one sleeps in, and now you're on a whole train. Now we're just talking about EXO. And so Kai was there from the beginning. And that's how we got into EXO, was because you randomly sent me a reel, be like, who the fuck is Kai? And the rabbit hole began. And then just the general, like, life of rabbit holes in this sphere, like, the both of us discovering how BTS has in a massive video lore was a crazy experience. I remember the chokehold that had on us at the moment. You were in deep.
I still remember, like, I guess we didn't really think about the lore stuff that much. Like, it maybe just, like, wasn't as prevalent. I mean, I know that Ateez and Stray Kids have lore, but, like, it wasn't as, like, big. But, like, yeah, I would just, like, watch a new video, and I'm like, wait, like, this is the same shot. Like, this is the same thing as this one. Like, these are connected. Like, it was, like, blowing my mind that I would just, like, randomly watch something and be like, hold on a second. I know this.
It was nuts. And it's still to this day, like, that I'll never forget that. Like you said, like, a realization, because there was never anything in my mind, anyway, to my memory, of having something so like a full arc like that in North America pop music anyway. Mm-hmm. And we see this full arc, like you said, we were getting into BTS, we were watching later stuff, Euphoria, just all of a sudden has I Need You in it. What? And then I Need You, first of all, I remember this iconically in my brain anyway. I watched I Need You in the music video, and you were, I think, visiting someone. There was somewhere where you weren't, like, easily available for me to reach you. But I sent you the music video, and I was like, have you watched this yet? I need you to react to this, like, now. Because I cannot tell if I'm being overdramatic, but it was such a crazy video to watch. And to be like, this is BTS? J-Hope's dying on the side of a street? What are we talking about? And how far we went in the beginning, and then it realized, oh my god, there's actually so much lore associated to this music video. Crazy.
I feel like just how trying to think like old music from like before. I guess like the closest we would have is something like Green Day's American Idiot album, but that was like one album. So like, and it was like a concept album or whatever. But like all the videos were connected in some way or whatever. I was like, this was just like kind of times 10 because it's like multiple different albums over years of time.
That's what I mean, right? The arc of, like, I think it started in the Beautiful Moment era, because that's where I Need You was on that album, and then it lasted all the way to, I think I found it all the way up to, like, before Dynamite.
Yeah.
But there's also, of course, everyone will theorize about the Dynamite. Like, oh, they're all just dead, and that's just their that's just their heaven. Okay, sure. But that was not, that's a good point, because, like, Green Day, that was their... Yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. But yeah, that was the album.
Yeah, like that was just like that singular concept kind of thing.
That you wouldn't go back to Dookie and be like, oh, there's Dookie, now there's American Idiot or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I thought I would never bias more than like one or two people.
Well, I think the concept of bias in general has changed so much, because like obviously in our early episodes we were pretty like heavily against anybody that was like 2001 or younger, heaven forbid. But now it's like different. Like bias doesn't necessarily mean like one guy that you think is really hot. Like it can mean like lots of things. It can mean just like a really cute guy, or really talented, or really must be protected at all costs type kind of things. Like I feel like in general the whole concept has like changed, and like even to say like, oh, this person's my bias, and like doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get a flood of thirst trap reels. You might just get cutesy little ones.
Yeah, like the bias effect.
Ever fucking heard of it?
Hey Efhos, welcome back Efhos. But it's true, like the bias effect, even the concept for us has grown immensely of, oh right, of course it doesn't need to be like this, oh I love them and I want to be whatever. It's like, oh right, it could just be like, oh I just really admire them, oh they're my favorite personality, they're this, like even Kai, like I love Kai, but I don't know if like I would ever be like my like favorite like that way, but I'm like, oh, he's such a funny guy, he's so cute, like I love him.
I guess I would say that about Dio also, where I'm like, I don't necessarily see reels of Dio and I'm like, hello. I'm more just like, oh, he's so like weird and funny. I mean, maybe if I see reels of him from The Manipulated, then I would be like, hello. But like in general,
we'll talk about
but it's the same like the G-Dragon thing. I'm like, I hardly ever see G-Dragon and I'm like, yes. It's usually like, man, he's so cool and
man,
nice.
Man, protect him at all costs. That's a G. So yeah, same with like, Big Bang's like a really good example, because Daesun too, like I don't feel like I'm really like, damn. But I'm like, oh my god, I just like want him to be like, live his happiest life and like be the best he can be or whatever.
Yeah, and like our TXT is similar too, where we're just like, they're just like cute kids that we love and want to watch. Like,
yeah, like Hyun and Kai, like I'm like, I love that guy. Like I just want him to be happy. Don't come for them. Mm-hmm. They had pink eye, okay?
Oh, yeah, they suffered. They suffered for the craft.
I still can't get over you named that episode Pink Eye. That was so funny.
It's disgusting.
That's the other funny thing, is that's always been, it's been fun. So kind of a bit of our inside process is once they're edited, we'll listen back and then we'll come up, we'll try to pull like the best line. But it's always your decision at the end, so I never really know like what's gonna come up, so it's always fun to see what you decide at the end. Some of them were like, some of them we know like right away as soon as it's said, we're like, that's the one.
Yeah.
But some of them were. I didn't think you were gonna choose Pink Eye because of that. You were so disgusted by it.
Well, it gets the people interested.
It gets the people going for sure.
Yeah, it's been a good year. It's been fun.
Been a good
I
year.
enjoy when we get into new groups. I feel like sometimes they just come out of like nowhere where we're like, let's check this out, and then like 2 weeks later we're like, this is the most incredible thing ever, and I love this guy and I love this guy and I've already bought an album.
I think that's the thing I was not expecting. Again, was like, I thought Stray Kids, Ateez, BTS would be kind of like it. Like, I didn't think I would have much space in my own. Actually, that's a funny callback now that I think about it. You and I early on talked about how you were said, oh, there's no way I can know more than
Yeah.
2 bands' people's names. Now you're like 17, beginning to end. You know them all. You know all of GOT7. So proud of you, girl.
I mean, even in line with like how sometimes you just see part of it and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I'm like,
Yeah,
how?
I know.
Yeah, I couldn't even remember, like, when I think about it now, I'm like, how could I not know all of 17 members? Like, of course I know all of them. I know them by sight. Any version of them you show me, I know.
I actually remember we talked about Face of the Sun. I think it might have been when we opened live. But anyway, I pulled cards. I pulled 2 Theates, Dino, and Onewe, which is great. And at the time, I did not know it was Onewe.
Yeah.
And that's wild to me. And
That's
Dino,
what I mean. I'm like,
oh,
now I'm like, if you pulled that, I'd be like, it's obviously Wanu. Like, we know that.
Yeah. Like, no way. Even Stray Kids. I remember Stray Kids, there was a moment where I found it hard to, like, I'm like, what?
I mean, that was like the first one where we were trying to get the names. Like, that one was definitely like a struggle, like at first. But then, I don't know, you just like, I guess you just get used to seeing those kinds of names. So you're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah, naturally, I feel like for Korean names are quite different than English names, of course, right? So even the way our brain grasps those names is harder for us to remember. But yeah, it's so obvious now. It's so some of them we still stumble. But that was the other funny thing listening to the first episode. Oh my god, our pronunciation.
We're working on it. We're still working on it.
We're still working on it. Yeah, actually, this one is starting to take Korean lessons too. So that's how far we've gotten. But yeah, the first episode, I think I said Songwa, I can never pronounce his name. Soho, I was saying Seo.
Yeah.
It's but hey, we said that. It's our journey. Look how far we've come. It's great. I'm excited for more. Yeah, I'm excited for which bands. There's still bands that I listened to early on that I still need to get more into, like Dreamcatcher. I loved listening to them, but I haven't like delved back in. GOT7 even. I feel like I really need to get back.
Yeah,
into
I feel like
them,
I need to really do the GOT7 like run again. But big year. If anyone,
big year, baby.
Let us know if you're a day one.
Day one
All
or
our
day
day
one flipper. Cause yeah, big year. BTS, baby. We've been talking about them since day one.
We've
and now
been
we're
talking. We've been manifesting since day one.
And here we are. Oh my god. Yeah, stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot of crazy episodes coming up in 2026.
Yeah. This year's
a lot to talk about. But as always,
2, 3.
I don't know. 2, 3. Catch us on the flip. We are the Bias Fact. But yes. With that being said, we will always and forever catch you on the flip. Bye.
Bye.